guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I haven't been able to post later because I'm kind of busy, but I wanted to post this video today. So actually this is a collaboration. I have been working with different YouTubers, models and co-workers that I had in Japan. So we are gonna be talking about all of these like Japanese, culture that we adapt from Japan. So I wanted to give you guys some different points of view because, as I say, all the things that I talk in my channel is based on my experience, but I wanted you guys to hear from other people. So I'm gonna be like asking some of my friends to actually, I already asked them to give me some like information based on 3 questions. The first one is like, we're gonna know where they are from and when they went to Japan. Then they're gonna tell me what is the thing that they adopt from Japan. It means like, I don't know, a cleanliness, or I don't know, waking up early, or I don't know, like being on time, something that only Japan like has, or that they don't have in their countries. And then they're gonna recommend you guys if it's good to go to Japan, or they don't recommend to living all this experience. So let's do it. Let's see what they say. Okay, let's go.
Hey guys, this is Joselyn. I'm from Costa Rica. I came to Japan because I got a scholarship from the Japanese government. I came last year on April the 2nd, 2019. And one of the things that had a huge impact in my life is how honest Japanese people are. If they find something on the street that doesn't belong to them, they will return it to a police officer, someone in charge or something like that. For example, once when I was going to school, I saw this Japanese man, probably salaryman, and he was telling the police at this station, "Oh, I found this 1,000 yen and I wanted to return it to you guys. Probably someone lost it." And they were like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, wow, he's returning the 1,000 yen. I think that most of normal people that are not Japanese would have kept them for themselves. Like if you find 1,000 yen on the street, you're like, "Oh, lucky, I got 1,000 yen." But Japanese people are not like that. They don't keep what doesn't belong to them. Probably not all the people are like that, but most of the people are honest, and that's something I admire, and something that I think I got in me. I find something and I feel like the need of either not picking it up or returning it to, I don't know, the police or something. So one good thing about Japan is that if you lose something, you might be able to find it back because the Japanese people won't steal it. I cannot promise the same about non-Japanese people living in Japan, but I think most of the Japanese people will return it, and me too.
So my name is Leonard and I'm from Indonesia, and I came to Japan like 6 years ago in 2014. And the reason why I came to Japan is because my mom already taught me Japanese when I was still a kid. Like she motivated me to go to Japan, to pursue my study in college. And the thing or situation that marked me when I'm in Japan is they tend to say "otsukaresama desu" every time they end their work, which means thank you for your hard work. I think we do not say that in English or in Indonesian too. So I think it's kind of like a new experience for me at the first time when I arrived in Japan.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Elvira Unitan. You can call me Uni. I'm from Indonesia, and I came to Japan in 2015 to study. Actually, I got scholarship to study for 3 years. So I think it's very subtle, but I think I kind of be more aware of my surrounding. Of course, being in the train, not to speak too loudly. I even tell my parents to, lower the volume. And the other thing is maybe try to keep clean of my public spaces. So let's say if I go to a fast food restaurant. So in my country, we don't really, put the plates and everything. But now I got the, habit to, just put it back. Even though, let's say I'm in Singapore and there are such people who's gonna do it for me. And the third thing, maybe to separate my garbage because I used to live in a share house and dorms, and these places, they are very strict about the rules. So let's say I'm throwing out my bottles, so I will like tear off the plastic and then separate. I did it even when I'm back in my hometown, and my mom said like, why are you doing that? I don't know, it's just a habit.
Hey, this is Stefan Diaz. I am from the Philippines, and I came to Japan on April 3rd, 2000, so that makes it more than 20 years now that I've been here in Japan. The reason why I ended up in Japan was because I had a scholarship grant by the Monbusho for undergraduate. There were 7 of us from the Philippines who passed that year, and 4 of us ended up in Tokyo University of Foreign Studies. And after Tokyo University of Foreign Studies, I went to Saitama University for my economics degree. And ever since, I've been working, and I've been here for more than 20 years. Right now, I work with the Miss International Organization, and that's how I met Veronica. So, regarding the question about habits that I actually adopted when I came to Japan, well, actually, there's so many already that I could not mention them one by one, because being here for 20 years, probably I could not distinguish anymore whether that habit is something that I already had even before coming here, or is just something that just, got improved or developed because I came to Japan. But if there's one thing that was really shocking for me the first time I came here was when my friends invited me to go to an onsen, and then we had to strip naked. That would be something that I would never do back in the Philippines, and I don't think I'll be able to do it with my friends if I go back to the Philippines still. Yeah, but nowadays it's easy. It's easy for me to just strip off and go to the onsen or sento.
Hola, hello. My name is Maria Elena Telo Molina. I'm 26 years old, and I had the opportunity to be in Japan around 1 month representing my country, Bolivia, where I'm from, in one of the prestigious, beautiful pageant Miss International. Arriving in Japan and had to adapt some culture and costume that this place has made me feel, at the first time, very nervous, because I didn't want to make any mistake, and the people believed that I'm impolite. So one of the things that marked it so much was making reverence. I know it is not a mandatory, but I really wanted to do it, to show some respect, and also I know that making reverence is used as a greeting. It was very funny for me because at the first time, I really forgot to do it, but when the day passing, I started to adopt that, and when I came back to my country, I greeting other people making reverence. Yeah. Being in Japan and had the opportunity to learn about some custom and culture was like a dream come true for me.
My name is Freddy Cuevas. I live in Dominican Republic. I went to Japan because I got an opportunity to study there for 2 years, thanks to a Japanese government program called MEX. I went in order to study electromagnetic fields as an investigator student. I went there in 2014. The thing that called the most my attention while living there in Japan was the punctuality of the public transportation. As you may know, Dominican Republic is a third world country, and waiting 20 or 30 minutes for a bus is the usual here. While in Japan, the bus and train systems are clock sharp. I mean, it's if the clock says 11 and a half, it's 11 and a half, and it will depart at that time as well.
Hey guys, how are you? My name is Stephanie. I'm from Brazil and I'm 25 years old. I went to Japan to study fashion design at Bunka Fashion College and I stayed there for almost 4 years. I went in 2015 and I stayed there until 2018, the middle of 2018. So I stayed around 3.5 years, around that. And one thing that changed me, that marked me about living in Japan is about the train. The train there is really, really crowded, and when you think the train has no more space, that is already full, and no more people can come in, actually it can. It can. In Brazil, people think the train it's really crowded, but actually it's not that crowded. In Japan, it's so crowded that you can't even move your arms. You need to stay like that. You can't move anything. And it's something that I got used to it. So I don't get bothered anymore to go inside a really crowded train. And another thing that changed me is actually about the conversation. Even in Portuguese or in English, I do this kind of Japanese expressions that is really hard to erase. For example, when I am surprised about something, I just say, eh? Like that. When somebody says something that surprised me, I just said, eh? Eh? Really? Like that? And another thing is, instead of yes, I just say, oh, instead of yes. So it's small things, but actually it changes a lot the way I talk, and it's really hard to erase.
Hello, my name is Joselyn. I am from Colombia. I have been living here in Japan for 4 years. I came here because I won MEX scholarship, and now I am in the university in the 4th year studying tourist management. I think one of the things that marked my life here in Japan is the silence in the train or in the bus, because I really appreciate the silence, and in the bus and the train is for me to talk with the cell phone, so that people use the silent mode or the headphones.
Also, I think it's worth it, the cultural exchange, because as a person, I've grown, and I think that I'm doing now a lot of things that I wasn't able to do back in my country. I feel that I've changed in a good way, and if you guys can do something like that, just do it.
I think it's really worth it because you have the chance like to go out from your comfort zone, like to explore more, and maybe you will, like discover a lot of things, like the new capabilities that you can do and your new goals, for example. So I think it's not only in Japan, as long as you have like the chance to go outside and see the world, I think it's really like worth the try, like to do it.
Really wanted to come back. So if you have the opportunity to live this amazing experience, you have to take it.
Yeah, definitely. So let's say like you're being more aware of your surrounding. I think that's something really good to be adapt, because people will see you as more polite.
I think any cultural exchange is really good, so it doesn't really matter whether it's Japan or whether it's another country, but yeah, as a human being, it's really good to be able to learn certain cultures, and Japan has really taught me to be humble, to actually think about others and to listen, because that is one thing that I was not really good at, listening to others. But Japan actually gave me the opportunity to actually listen to people, because when you could not speak the language at the very beginning, you could not actually expound yourself in the Japanese language, then you have no choice but to listen and listen. So that's one thing that I'm so thankful of regarding my stay here in Japan. So
Of course, it was get to know different culture and living there with the people in the culture is one of the best ways to open your mind, and it's one of your best experience that you can take in your life. I encourage you to do so.
Definitely. I think if you have the opportunity to go, you should definitely go. It changed my life. Like, I went one person and I came back a totally different one. I think I'm more brave now. I have more courage to go alone, to travel by myself, something that I thought I couldn't do. And yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. So if you have the opportunity to go and learn with the Japanese culture, I think you should definitely go.
And international exchange, I think, is so important here in Japan, because here in Japan you can not only learn about Japanese culture, you also learn about other cultures too, because many students and many people came here to work or to study abroad. So it's really, really good, and I can teach them about Colombian cultures, and I can learn about other cultures too. Thank you.
So what do you guys think of this video? I think it was funny to hear another people's experiences. Like, as I already say in many of my videos, like, we all have different like ways of thinking, but it's funny because like now that I hear my friends talking about it, there's so many things that we have in common that we adopt in Japan, like even without like thinking too much. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the things that I adopt, I haven't said anything about what I adopt, but one of the things that I adopt a lot, and it was difficult for me because I have been living already in another country for more than a year, but the first year it was difficult for me to go and hug people or to kiss. What I was used to do that in Costa Rica first, like when you say hi or hello, or someone presents you a person for the first time, and I was like doing the reverence, you know. And it's funny because now it's kind of like I still confuse sometimes, like I don't know if to hug people, but people that I meet the first time, it's kind of awkward to do that. And it's funny because one of my friends said that, and I don't know, you can see like many people, they just go to Japan only to travel or to live, and Japan has a huge impact in our lives. And another thing that I think I'm okay with is like in my home country, before going to Japan, it was like super like hard for me to go in the public transport for like 1 hour. I was always super stressed out and stuff like that. And in Japan, I was in the train for hours, and now I learned that it's like, it's okay, you know, oh, we have to go in the train, we have to go in the bus, we have to go in the car 1 hour. Oh, that's nothing. And I think that's something that I adopt from Japan, and I think it's funny. So I just wanted to let you guys know some of my experience. And also I recommend going to Japan. Not only Japan, I recommend going to any country that you want. Like as I always say in my videos, in my live streams that I do sometimes in there, you know, let's talk kind of thing, I always say like going to another country is gonna open your mind like so much. It's like the way you're thinking is gonna change. Like even if you don't want to adopt so many of the cultural things, just for the fact that you go to that country and spend more than a month, more than 2 weeks, that you experience living into that culture, staying with that kind of like people, your mind is gonna change. And not only Japan, you can go to United States, you can go to Europe, to Africa, any other continent, any other country, and this is gonna happen. We are always learning something from new countries. So I also recommend going to Japan. Even though, as I said, we all have different experiences. Maybe mine like had some things that wasn't good, but yours may be really good. So I hope you guys like this video. This is the part 1. I'm gonna be working on more of these kind of videos. I told you guys that my videos are not only about scholarship, they are not only about Japan, they are not only about Japanese. I have so many different topics I want to talk about in my channel. So I hope you guys understand that. Please don't just pressure me to post about the scholarships for Japan, because I'm not living in Japan anymore. And I just wanted to let you guys know that if you like this video, if you like this kind of, I don't know, ideas of videos, collaborations, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you like it or not. And yeah, that's all. So I'm gonna tell you more about my experience. I'm gonna tell you more about the things that I adopt in part 2. So be waiting. I don't know when I'm gonna post it. I have to edit it and all, so I'm not gonna give you a specific date. But if you like it, just subscribe to my channel and stay tuned so for part 2. So that's all. Bye.
Thank you.